Hello, hello. We are back with another video documenting Toity's descent into darkness.
Yay! Darkness!
And you just leveled up, didn't you? So
yes!
you've descended a bit further, my friend.
Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous.
Would you like to inform the eventual listeners of your newfound
Okay,
level
I'll just read it out as it is on OrcPub because Roll20 cannot currently handle how my character sheet works.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to we're gonna have to literally just make him a new character sheet.
Yeah, okay.
I am currently a 3 levels of Bard at the College of Lore, 2 levels of a Hexblade Warlock, 2 levels of Shadow Sorcerer, and 2 levels of Fighter. Nice. I am quadruple classed right now. Not for long. Soon it'll just be 3.
But you're eventually going to get rid of all the Bard classes?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it might make sense to leave 1 just for flavor reasons.
Yeah, I feel like if you suddenly just couldn't play instruments, that might be an issue.
Yeah. Who knows? I might stick to 3 levels of Bard just for the sake of what's it called? The thing that like doubles my proficiency bonus. That would be nice to keep, but at the same point, I really want to get up to 4 levels in Warlock and Sorcerer and not have to wait too long. But it might, I don't know, we'll see. I know where my next level is going into Sorcerer, and as of now, that's all I know because I can't quicken a spell yet.
So you should have a new character sheet on there that you can edit at your leisure.
Okay, I'll do that probably.
Yeah, just let you know. Cool. So you've been told by Balam, the demon that lives in your Ioun Stone, that.
Real quick, can the others see that there's a character sheet in there named New Toity?
No.
Okay, good.
I made sure that it's just revealed to you.
That would be bad.
I know it would. Yeah, that's why I made sure. Made sure it wouldn't show up. Yeah, you've been told by Balam that there's a guy here at the Burning Sanctum who you could maybe have a conversation with, maybe talk to about a few things, get up to speed with some things that have been going on that apparently you didn't know about, and like things have been going on, and maybe you can get roped into what the Lost Court of Xibalba has been up to.
As a player, I have some inklings of what's happening, but I don't think Toity realizes it yet.
You should totally like guess for the stream's purposes and like my own inner delight at never not telling you if you're right or not.
I am guessing that Chamer might be a traitor.
You will very, very quickly early on know that already, so I won't even bother. Won't even bother.
I figured as much.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, why else would he be going with the people that technically killed them?
Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, where do you want to have this conversation?
I think what I'm just gonna say what happened. Toity was restless. I'm gonna ask if we can do it this way because this would be fun and it would be interesting. Like Toity has a hard time sleeping. He's like restless. And he wants to try and find Chamer. So he gets up and he's like, where exactly? Like set the setting. Like where's Toity exactly staying and what kind of place is he staying?
Yeah. So there is a group of living quarters. So there's technically a bunch of like living quarters for like the really important people. In the shrine proper, there's like a temple and stuff, and that's where the meeting hall is. But I think, no, you guys would be staying in one of those rooms. I think that's where they hole you up.
It's kind of like a place where there's a bunch of people. Then,
yeah, it's not in the main barracks living quarters. There's literally, so I think you guys have gotten a little bit of a feel for what this place is like. And there's a place where there's literally just like a bunch of people crammed together with bedrolls. But you're not given that space. There are a selection of rooms. I think. Well, here, so I drag you over the map. I think you guys basically hang out over.
Oh, that's
Try
big.
dragging people. Yeah, I think you guys are given this space over here. Right, all of these rooms.
The ones on the left.
The one, no. So, sorry, I don't know what my computer's doing.
It's my Roll20 is being really slow for me right now.
Yeah.
So. My main question is: are we in like bunks, or are we all in one room, or do we have our own separate rooms?
So, did you get centered over there?
No,
I tried.
I think Roll20 froze. Yeah, Roll20 crashed. Give me a second. Let me refresh it. Sure. Also, you should totally make sure you clear out the chat so people can't see when they log in, because they could have nearly seen my
so
check from my
what I usually try to do when I have to make rolls like that is just like make some rolls that look like I'm making like rolls on tables and things. And so that's what I do.
Okay, this is okay. No, it's been really slow. It says it's hatching dragons.
Very good.
It's not wanting to go very quickly. I guess that's, oh, there we go, finally. Okay.
So let me try this again.
Oh, okay, I see now. Okay, so we are in like one main room.
Well, so you're in this space. Can you see the map proper?
Yeah, I can see the whole map.
Yeah, okay. So you can see like it's revealed and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys have this whole little block over here, right? So you have 4 rooms technically that you can use at your leisure. Some of it is like some of it's like has bedrolls and things, some of it has like a table and some chairs, but you guys can kind of set it up however you want, and I think this is where you're going to be saying. So technically you're in an enclosed space together, but you don't necessarily have to be in the same room per se. So you'll probably still have to make a stealth roll of some sort to like
I think I'm going to do something just to make sure I get out of this well. I'm going to, where is it? My spells are so freaking confusing now. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and just use a spell slot, since I don't imagine we're going to be getting in a lot of combat here soon.
Probably not in the first session of the season, no. I don't think so.
I'm going to, actually, here's what I'll do. That's right. I can do, wait. What level are they? I need to check what level my warlock spell slots are. They are first level. Dang it, I can't do that. I'm just gonna cast silence to make sure I can sneak out of here successfully. I'm so glad I picked.
Is that what components does that have? I assume it doesn't have verbal components, because that would be kind of silly.
Let's see. Oh, it does have verbal components.
Of course it does.
Why? Wait a second. Let me check that. Let me check what kind of verbal components it requires.
So funny.
Because usually it will say, and that seems silly to have silence.
It really does. But if that's what the rules say,
I might be better off just trying to sneak out here without silence. I didn't realize it did that.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything.
It just says components verbal and somatic.
Yeah, so you'll have to make a roll. It won't be as difficult to roll as just trying to like actually get out, just sneaking out. Because literally you just have to muffle the fact that you're saying a few words, right? Like that's immensely easier than trying to like sneak out of this whole little complex over here. So yeah, if you still want, I think that's probably still the best move for Toity, is to try to cast silence.
Yeah, I'm just viewing it the wrong way. So I'll do that. What will that roll be for me?
Stealth.
Stealth. Can I roll via this? No, I cannot. I'm just gonna roll a d20 and it'll be +8.
Okay, sounds good.
Because I need to figure out how this works still. Oh, thank goodness.
+8, yeah. I think you managed it with a 20.
Yep.
So we see Toity just briefly say a word, And no one really notices because I mean it's not that noticeable. You're just saying no single word or whatever. And then suddenly the room is completely silent. The soundtrack goes. I think there was like ambient sounds before, and like a really sinister sounding version of Toity's theme played on like a piano, like a detuned piano. And then suddenly it all just goes out, and we just have like very loud silence.
I mean, I guess if I wanted to, I could just like go out, and if someone asks like, "Why'd you get up?" I'm like, "I needed to use the bathroom."
Exactly. Yeah, you have plausible deniability. So
still,
yeah, we see Toity duck out of this little complex, and where do you go?
I just wander. Honestly, I'm just looking. I'm wandering around, kind of like looking for Chamer.
Yeah, so you just kind of want to wander around and see if you can find him. And I, this makes sense that this would happen because Balam wants you to meet with him, so he'd probably try to set this up. So I think you guys meet. I think you meet down in the basement level that you were in before. The caverns beneath the place.
Everyone's there.
Yeah, it turns out no.
It was a sneak attack.
It was a sneak attack. Chamer just told all of your friends that you were going to betray them, and then brought them all here to have an intervention. No. And Balam's just like, I was worried about you, Toity. I was pretending to be a demon, and then...
To be fair, I don't know I'm betraying them. I don't even think I am betraying them necessarily yet.
For you, you're just doing what's necessary.
I am figuring out what the heck's going on.
Yeah. So... Yeah, I think you find Chamer... Basically where you found... No, Toity, you find yourself standing in front of that black void again. Right? That like... Yeah, that's what happens.
I'm just so curious.
Yeah, I mean, you've... And I think you don't even realize that you've been following its pull until you're standing right in front of it. And you're just like standing there, like probably a little bit too close to it. And then suddenly Chamer is like on the stairs behind you. And again, just as a reminder, he looks like some sort of weird Genasi tiefling hybrid gone wrong. The back of his head is completely fire, and he has these weird like lava horns and stuff. He's a creepy guy. He's just behind you. You hear the slight burning of his head, and counterpoint with the torches around you. And he says, "It's interesting that he chose you."
Oh, I turn around like, oh, I gotta kind of like take it back like, oh, Chamer, I wasn't expecting you to find you here. I was just honestly wandering around and found myself here, I guess.
I just think after how long they've worked to make sure this goes right, they wouldn't leave it in the hands of someone, so... And he just kind of leaves it hanging.
And I said that, first of all, excuse yourself. You don't know who you're dealing with, but to be fair, I'm not sure I know what's going on particularly either. What? He's kind of pauses like, what do you know about Balam? Is that who you're talking about?
Maybe not this Balam specifically. I don't know him, but the Lost...
That's right, he said he didn't know him exactly.
The Lost Court? Yes, of course. I have been in regular communication with them. This Balam, how does he speak to you?
Give me a second. Chamer's surprised they chose me. Doesn't know Balam, but knows the Lost Court. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like, right, the Lost Court of Shabolba as a whole, as an entity. So it's like he's been talking with other people like Balam.
So he says, how's he talking to me? I just pull the Ion Stone out of my pack and say, through this.
Interesting. I haven't seen it done that way before.
How's it usually done.
And he kind of just smiles, a kind of broken, crooked smile. You can see his like lips are cracked like veins of lava.
Need some chapstick.
Yeah, he does. Emphasis on dry, like the driest you could possibly get, because you know he's on fire.
Yeah.
I think he just ignores your question, and he says,
"Rude."
Yeah. He says, Toity, why are you helping them? Why do you find their pleas seductive?
Oh, give me a second. Ask. I'm the only one to take notes on this, so I have to take all of the notes.
Yeah.
Asks why I find them seductive.
Find their pleas seductive.
Their pleas. Okay. Well, I'm not sure. Well, I guess I would know. I'm kind of helped him, wouldn't I? Because he already asked me like for help getting him back into the Court of Shabola.
Yeah.
I say, well, you've seen my. He's reluctant to say, but friends in there.
Briefly, why don't you enlighten me?
Well, you know, when you're a man of my looks up and down stature, it can be pretty easy to feel incompetent and like you need to prove yourself worthy to them to make sure you're not disposed of. You see, we have happened upon a few people over these past few months where when they found that they were not as useful to them, they were better dead.
Ah, so there's unrest in paradise. I see.
I wouldn't call it paradise, but yes. There's been a lot of suffering.
He says, looking up at the camera. I'm there. I'm just standing there as the director. I'm just like shaking my head.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, exactly. Chamer says, so you find yourself on a bit of holding the short straw, as it were.
Toity rolls his eyes at the short joke.
No, it's not a joke. I mean,
would that be a joke if I heard you not
oh,
say
you're actually no. So I think that's what happens, right? He says some sort of colloquialism that is similar to that, but it sounds like a short joke, but he didn't mean it to be a short joke, right? Yeah. And he says, I'm curious as to the origins of the short straw thing. Interesting.
Well, it's like you pull straws and whoever gets the straw.
Right, but I don't know, like, where did that come from? Like,
it's an easy way to pick. Anyway, that's besides the point.
He says, you found yourself being mistreated and you decided to change things for yourself. Make things better. You don't like the trajectory you're on, and so you take a leap. You jump off of the moving dinosaur and into the jungle proper.
I'm not sure I quite understand the colloquialisms, but I'm pretty sure you've hit the nail on the head. Saying my own colloquialism.
Maybe I should put it this way. You've jumped out of the frying pan and into the fire, and you hope it won't burn you.
Pretty much.
I think I can use that. He says, almost as if he's not talking to you. Like he's not looking at you when he says it. He kind of looks weirdly distant. And then he says, so you're willing to work with us then?
What exactly does that entail? Because I'm still not completely sure why I was brought to you.
Well, like yourself, Toity, I have found myself in the companionship of less than adequate colleagues. I feel like Well, I feel like they are driving our cause into doom. Unless we throw our weight behind a cause greater than ourselves, we'll be lost in our own idealism. We'll destroy the foundations of the system we hate so much, only to find that there is nothing but anarchy on the other side. We need structure. We need something that can take the place of the Yuan when they all die a miserable death. As you know, there is no god of death. And I seek to rectify that. But I don't seek to rectify that by placing just anyone on the proverbial throne of skulls, but rather someone who is so familiar with death that they won't hesitate to do what needs to be done to make sure this sort of thing doesn't happen again.
So wants to put someone on the throne to make sure it doesn't have to make sure they don't lose the god of death again, essentially.
Well, yeah, and I think you can get the sense that he's mentioning not only that, but like also the fact that like, you know, the undead plague is like going everywhere and all of this craziness is happening, and yeah, the whole shebang, all of the history of
the whole shibulba.
Yeah, the whole shibulba. Oh my gosh.
That's what this mini session should be called, the whole shibulba.
Oh man, that's great. I should name these two. Yeah. Yeah, and so I think he says, you and your friends will be meeting with us, the 5, tomorrow. And they will ask you to do something for them. There is a quest, a mission that they think will help us here.
I have a feeling I know where you're going with this. Go ahead, continue.
Zaman had a dream last night. He's the oracle, after all, and so he has those. But he dreamed that Nahuatli, the eldest sister of Itokali, well, we sent her to look for you. And it seems she found something else instead. Erendira, the Radiant Unmaker, found her first.
That's one of the Yuan Ti.
That's the most, the nearest, the one, the Yuan Ti, the Seven Serpent that you are on the borders of right now. And Chamer says, unless we have Nahuatli, there is no hope for this cause. The cult of the Dying Flame will not rally behind anyone else but the descendants of the hero twins.
Okay. So you want us to make sure that goes well, then?
You need to rescue her, Toity.
Well, I understand. I'm sorry. I thought this was going to take a different direction. Why are you telling me ahead of time instead of just letting me find out tomorrow?
Because I have another thing I want you to do while you're there.
And there we have it.
I see that you have the fire mask. Well, Zaman saw it. And Etoshia. And you're planning on giving it to us as a gift of goodwill. Yes?
Yes.
Well, Etoshia also told me that the friend of yours, Ari, has another interesting item in her possession. Revenge. Kemazot's last gift. The Ring of Fire.
Right, yeah.
Well, there's one more item that can complete the set.
Oh.
That can give me the power that I need to accomplish my purposes here, to make sure the Lost Court of Shibulba arises. I need a chain. It's just a small trinket. A gold chain worn as jewelry.
So you can be gangsta.
Yeah, in a piercing, perhaps. It is currently in Arendira's possession. If you get me this item, I will be able to ensure our victory over Arendira and the rest of the Seven Serpents. Do you think you can do that for me, Toity?
So I'll do my best. I'm like, I feel like at this point I've done no, not that. I almost said it that way. At this point, I've surprised myself with what I've been able to do. So
maybe this Balam of yours wasn't making a mistake after all.
I'd like to think that.
I see you were staring at the darkness here.
Yeah, what is it exactly?
He smiles again, a cracked smile, and he says, all in due time, Toity, all in due time.
I'm like, I think to myself, dang it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what Mom said. So do you need the ring too, or do you just need the chain?
Yes, I will need the ring at some point, but we don't need to steal it from Ari yet, of course.
Yeah, I was going to say she might not. She won't let me take that from her.
I imagine she won't, but don't worry about it. We don't need to harm any of your party members. We just need to... We'll have the fire mask. I'll have the fire mask, and I'll make sure that I analyze it. Make sure that I know how I can use it for my task. And maybe, Toity, if you're of the opportunity at some point on this next mission of yours, maybe you could, if you could find a way to analyze revenge yourself and tell Balam, perhaps. Maybe he
and
could,
what?
And tell Balam, perhaps.
Oh, about like my analysis.
About the ring, yeah. And maybe he can get it to me. All the information that I can use of these 3 artifacts. It will be important to make sure that I can do what I need to.
So you just need information from the ring, not the ring itself?
I will need the ring when the time comes, but that won't be for some point in the future.
Okay.
How is it felt, Toity?
It's felt strange. It feels like I'm learning everything I thought I knew over again.
I couldn't have put it a more apt way myself. And then he just stops and like stares into the distance. Well, I should be letting you get back to your sleep.
Real quick, I have a question. Actually, no, I do have a question because you said something earlier. You said you needed something to replace the yuan. What do you mean by that?
Humanity isn't meant to live on its own. And he uses the word which basically means like all people, not necessarily humans. Like all sentient races.
Life, so.
Yeah. We were meant to have order, to have structure. If we kill the Yuan-Ti, if we kill the Empire of the Seven Serpents, and yet nothing is able to take its place, all will fall, and we will be worse off than when we started.
Gotcha. Just writing everything down. Well, I might want to. I might stay up a little bit longer and talk to Balam. See if
As
he has
you
anything
wish.
to add.
I wouldn't be touching the sphere, though. I would stay away from it. You can look at it, of course. It's mesmerizing, but
I kind of want to throw a stick at it.
you
I feel
could,
like
yeah.
I feel like nothing would happen and it'd be anticlimactic. Like, oh, don't believe me. I don't want to. I'm not quite sure how I ended up in front of it in the first place.
I asked myself the same thing a year ago. And then he just like turns on his heel to walk away.
Good night.
Sweet dreams, Toity.
So he felt a similar calling to the black hole.
Timely.
Yeah, I know, right? I was thinking that earlier. Well, I know you have don't have a lot of time. Does Balam have anything?
Balam, though. Yeah.
Does Balam have anything extra he wanted to add essentially to that?
I mean, do you like connect your mind to his?
Yeah, I'm like, so I met him. Like, if you wanted to give a rundown of anything he might if there's any important information he might share. But if not, I mean, I'd say like, okay, that was weird.
Right. Yeah. I think he says. He says this. I didn't make a mistake, Toity. I chose you for a very specific reason.
Well, thank you.
Even if I don't understand that reason myself yet.
Thanks. That sounded creepy.
I know. Use the power wisely, Toity. I can see it's coming as a flood instead of a trickle now.
Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable.
Don't worry. I don't think that the 5 will send you out quite yet. You'll have a little bit of time to prepare yourself. I would make sure to keep this as hidden as possible from your friends, at least at first.
That makes Toity a little like, am I doing the right thing?
They can misunderstand things like this. You've seen them with the Yuan-Ti and the ogres before.
This is gonna go horribly wrong. It's gonna be great.
Yep.
This point he's in too deep.
He is. He really is. If the problem, like literally, if Toity decided right now that he was like, nope, I'm out. Like I need to tell all my friends this. Chamer would probably kill you. He would probably assassinate you in the night, and that would be it.
I really want to play Toity as a ball of milk for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think at this point I do actually want to try. I did want to try learning something new.
Yeah, sure.
I've learned Hexblade's Curse and Eldritch Blast. Can we assume the ones that like I are kind of what? Okay, can we assume the ones that are like spells I like carry over from like being a bard?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can do those like fairly easily. It's like it feels weird to do them in a different way, but I can still do it.
Yeah.
I want to try casting Magic Missile.
Magic Missile.
Oh, wait, I have to target something though.
You could target the black sphere of annihilation in front of you.
Is that a good idea?
You won't know until you try it, but you could do that.
I feel like that's a good way to make it ricochet. Screw it, why not?
Awesome, cool. I'm glad you said that.
I'll just try it, and I hope I won't die. If anything, it shouldn't hit me too hard.
Yeah, doing it the same way. You're gonna like psychoanalyze yourself and try to.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll that insight.
Oh, frick.
Yeah.
Does it even work, or just like?
You shoot some sort of magic into the sphere of annihilation. And it's almost as if like you see it like get sucked into, and like it's literally like it's a black hole. It's like bending the light that's coming from this like magical energy and then like sucking it into the center mass. Yeah.
Well, I think I'm just going to head back.
And then I think the last shot we get is we stay on the sphere of annihilation, right? And Toity like walks away from it, and then we go into it, right? We go into the darkness, and on the other side we kind of like flip views, and we see some sort of like other cave on the like the flip side of this, and your little beam of energy like bends inverse and comes out the other side, and then starts like bouncing around this cave. And eventually it just like I think I'm trying to think of how much I want to show of what the cave looks like. You know, I think I'm going to show a little bit more than I would otherwise, because this won't even get revealed to everybody for a little while. We see this like thing start to like ricochet around, and as we kind of like pan around and see the cave as a whole, we see a giant, like, dark red and black maelstrom of something, like, kind of just in the center of the chamber. And it's the same, like, color scheme that the other, like, Shibbolbo stuff has had, right? This, like, dark red and dark black sort of a thing. And it's just this, like, swirling maelstrom with, like, an eye at the center of it. And the light just, like, starts to, like, as it's bouncing around, starts to, like, shift from like this red to black, and then eventually just like kind of dissolves in front of the maelstrom, and we just hear basically the bass in the soundtrack just like comes up, and we just get this like shot on this giant maelstrom on the other side of the cave that is like waiting waiting for something.
You said it has an eye?
Yeah, I mean, so I'll show it to you and then quickly delete it just so you can get it. So let me expand it. It's like it's like actually it's like that big, and it looks like that.
Oh, we're gonna die. The funny thing is, when you pop up the token, it's actually
it is actually smaller. Yeah.
Smaller.
Yep. That's what it looks like.
Oh, that's why he needs all the items for, isn't it?
Something like that. Yep.
Okay.
So
that's been fun.
It has been fun. It has been fun indeed. You've just stepped into something horrifying, Toity.
Yep. But it makes it interesting.
Oh, it totally does.
And you know what? Other people have proven they don't necessarily care too much about what's happening sometimes either.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. Yep. Well, there you go. That has been part 4 of Toity's Descent into Darkness.
Yay, darkness!
It's getting more and more dark here on the other side.
And then a little light red.
And then some redness, yeah.
Do I get any experience from trying to cast?
Yeah. What is that? You still have the goal of learning more about the powers?
Yeah. I haven't changed my other goals, but I haven't.
And you're level 9 now.
Yep.
All right. Let's see how much XP you get. You get 550.
Woo! Oh, dang it! My desk is breaking.
I'm sorry.
It's just the keyboard thing is popping up. So 51353 plus 550.
Good stuff.
Kind of funny when like Alyssa's like, you don't really do anything during. I'm like, but that's because I have like 40 minutes outside of normal campaign where I do treacherous things.
Mm-hmm.
You should totally make sure no one sees that insight in that roll d20 roll though.
Sounds good. I'll roll some dice here.
Okay. Well, It's been fun. Jordan might be wondering where I am, though.
I like how they still haven't like guessed.
Well, they know something's up.
I mean, they know we've been messaging, but they don't know we've been having actual secret mini sessions. So, yeah. Cool. I can't wait, guys, until you can watch these videos and see just how dark Toity has become. Because literally, he was literally just told by this creepy Genasi guy, like, yeah, we gotta like help the demons like rise to power so that the earth is not anarchy.
If Raya had just spoken up about the Panther demons earlier, I'd have known better.
Oh, seriously, yeah. Yep. Good stuff. All right, well, there we go. That is it from us here in Toity's Descent to Darkness. We'll be back tomorrow with the first session of Season 4, which I'm really excited about. And you've gotten a hint at what's to come, Seth.
Yep.
So,
I got the first hint.
You did indeed. All right, we're out. Bye.